All right, round one of our Grixis League on the draw. This is a deck that is really, really disgusting on the play because you deal yourself so much damage, and you have all these thought seizes and stuff. But in this game, looks like we're against a Grixis mirror, so it's pretty likely that being on the draw is a lot less bad in the Grixis mirror. I feel like it's kind of weird. Some people might imagine that it's grindy, but actually it's a pretty fast-paced matchup because what happens is... Oh! Looks like we're not playing a mirror. I was going to say what happens in the Grixis mirror is that there are a lot of discard spells in Stubborn now, so oftentimes someone just gets a huge Death Shadow or Angler online and the other person is like backpedaling to try to deal with it. Looks like we're up against a pretty formidable draw here where we have a Thought Scour with a Grizzlebrand in the graveyard and we're being Inquisitioned. I think I should Thought Scour myself, just because I want to make sure I get an Angler in play next turn. And we have 3 cards in our graveyard from the Thought Scour and 2 from the 2 fetch lands. So we're really looking to hit we can cast Angler next turn no matter what, but we're really looking to hit a Street Wraith, because that will enable us to play a Gurmag Angler with Stubborn Owl backup. Looks like we hit a land, which is pretty bad. I mean, he gets to kind of take my Stubborn Owl, I'm sure, and now I'm pretty far behind. I actually have not played against this deck. That's the funny part about Modern, is there's just so many decks. I have never played against this deck, so it's hard for me to really get into the matchup. But I imagine that I just want to get a threat in play and kind of put a clock on him. So we're going to put the Gurmag Angler in. I could bait. I could like pretend like I have some sort of interactive spell, but because I have the second Angler in my hand, I just want as many cards in my graveyard as possible. And I'm actually going to... Ooh, actually... We might just die next turn, but I'm going to keep the Stubborn Owl. I was going to say I might keep the Thought Scour in my graveyard, but I'm going to keep the Stubborn Owl in my graveyard in case I draw a Snapcaster Mage. Man, him Thought Scouring and Grizzlebrand, that's gotta feel really nice for him. I imagine that is pretty unlikely to happen, and it's just so free. Looks like we're actually not against the Grixis deck. We're against probably the Goryos, Esper, like Mentor, Jace, Friends, Prodigy, Obsidat kind of deck. He's got a Liliana. That actually is bad for me, but it's not as bad as him just making a Grizzlebrand. So I'm still in the game, which is pretty nice. Magnetic Liliana is interesting. I think I've definitely seen this deck. I saw somebody playing this at the last GP, just kind of Esper good stuff, also with Goryo's combo. He probably has Obsidat as well. Ooh, that was actually a pretty nice draw, because I can just jam. He doesn't know about the Scalding Tarn. No, that's fine. I'll just use the Scalding Tarn. I have to get a Blood Crypt, but I don't have that many spells, so I don't think I have to worry about my mana base very much. Kind of just hoping he never draws a Goryo's Vengeance. I do have extra lands to discard to this Liliana, so even though this Liliana, you know, hurts my development, I don't really care too much about it. Inquisition, that hurts. That hurts a lot. Now, if he pluses it, though, I can play the Angler, which is pretty nice, because I'll put the Watery Grave in my graveyard, which will be 2 cards, and then Fetch Line will be 3 cards in the graveyard. So this actually, even though it looks like he's kind of working me, I mean, he's not able to find his Goryos yet. Pretty nice, and I'm probably going to be able to eat his Liliana, I would hope. Looks like he might just like run out of Jace to chump, which is fine. Really want to draw a Fatal Push or a Bolt here, then I can basically do everything. Inquisition. Let's start off by attacking Liliana. I can go Hellbent this turn. That actually wasn't a terrible draw, because he might have a spell left in his hand, but I feel like if he's got a spell left in his hand, it's not that relevant. Could be a Snapcaster Mage. I don't know if he plays that card, but... Okay, so let's go ahead and Inquisition. Hopefully we hit something. It would be really big if we hit something. Hit a Fatal Push. Okay, that doesn't really do anything. So we're pretty much on even terms, except I have 2 threats. So, obviously a Goryo's is going to beat me. But I do have Tasigur, which can start drawing me cards. It's going to be interesting, because he's probably going to Edict me. And if he does, I'll probably just sack the Angler. Because I'm kind of at risk of flooding out here. And I want to start burying him, kind of. Though it is a bit worrisome because he's at 17, and the Tasigur basically kills him 1 turn shorter. Oh, does he have another Liliana? That would be bad. Wonder what he has here. Dismember or something? He has his own Tasigur. So I'm getting a little punished, I suppose. Should I show him the land? I don't really want to mill over a land, but I do have, what, I have a Steam Vents and a Watery Grave and a Swamp left. So yeah, let's just activate this. He might assume that I don't have a land, so... It's pretty nice. All those cards are good. Street Wraith is obviously probably what he's going to give me. I guess he could give me the Angler, but I just get to slam it next turn. And start pressuring him. I guess land wasn't really the worst draw for me. It's kind of weird, because if he activates his Tasigur, I can just give him the Griselbrand back, just kind of for free. Alright, hopefully, if we draw a Death Shadow, that would be ideal. We do not. Definitely don't want to cast that, because I want to be able to get something relevant back with Tasigur. The Street Wraith is kind of interesting, because he can just keep giving it back to me. It's possible that I should have, like, not cycled it and then activated my Tasigur first, but there's a lot of good draws I could have hit, like a Death Shadow or Dismember are both pretty insane. You can't really activate the task. Oh. Yeah, that sucks. Alright, I mean, I'm dead. God, that Thought Scour hurts. I mean, I guess he could have used the Liliana to discard it, but... Alright, so we probably want Surgical. Rakdos Charm is kind of interesting, but I think it's doing too much when I'm already boarding in the Surgical. He's got a lot of Fatal Pushes and discard. I think I can pretty safely not Battle Rage. Kolaghan's Command is, like, pretty good against Jace and his slow plan. I think we can probably cut, like, a Bolt, a Push. Because Jace is good, but I don't need to, like, draw excess pushes. I think that Liliana is actually good against him. Even though he's got, like, the discard plan and Liliana's of his own, this kills his Tasigurs, it kills his Jaces, and it kind of puts pressure on him. The one problem is, like, if I play it into open mana, he can just discard a Griselbrand and then Goryo's it, but I have a lot of discard, so I feel like I'll be able to do it proactively where I can see his hand, know that he can't combo me, and I have Surgical as well to protect me. So I think Liliana is definitely a go here. Wonder if Dismember is good enough. It kills Tasigur. It actually isn't terrible against the Goryo's Griselbrand. If, like, I have... But it's probably not good enough. I mean, it does let me set up a big Death Shadow. I'm a little worried that maybe Fatal Push... actually, I guess Dismember is just better than Fatal Push because it can kill a Tasigur. So that's probably right to leave the Dismember in. Maybe I do want a Battle Rage. Seems like he's got all these Fatal Pushes and discard spells, so if he just takes my big guys, it's kind of a problem. Rakdos Charm could be good as well, but I just feel like the utility is much worse than a card I'm already boarding in for that for that purpose. I think I'm going to leave in a Bolt, just because I can Bolt Snap, Bolt a Tasker, or Bolt a Jace, or Bolt a Liliana. So we will run it that way. I've got Culligan's Command. I'm a little short on ways of killing a Tasker, but I'm hoping that I can just power through, is my plan. Okay, I have a Dismember, which means I can deal with the turn 2 Tasker. I guess I have a Liliana as well. Hand's not great because I have no threat, but Liliana is kind of a threat. Hopefully we can clear the way. Thoughtseize, push. Okay, this is pretty good. I can like Dismember his Jace and then Liliana his next Jace. Very jealous of his pretty Thoughtseizes. Flooded Strand. Let's just make this a little bigger so you guys can see. I guess you guys can probably see that. That's a reasonable draw. Let's go ahead and just opt. Bottom the opt. Ooh, a Death Shadow. That is pretty nice. So we can just go Dismember Jace, Edict the Jace. I really don't want a Liliana plus anyway, because I feel as if he can discard the Grizzlebrand and then he's got a 1-turn window. What I want to do is I don't want to plus a Liliana until I have Stubborn Denial up. So basically I can Liliana minus it, and then on the next turn I can plus it, play Death Shadow, and have Stubborn Denial up. So what I'm probably going to do is just play a Liliana and not plus it this next turn. Though I could also just play a huge Shadow with Stubborn Denial backup. He's got a Fatal Push, so he'll probably go Fatal Push Jace, and I'll just Stubborn Denial the push, and then Liliana kill the Jace, so he can't flash it back. Especially because I drew that. I'm definitely going to just go with the line I just described. He's going to try to push. Though the problem is, I guess he's going to probably upkeep push, now that I think about it. But hopefully we can opt into a land so I can go Liliana, make you sack. Also, hold up Stubborn Denial. But he might also not draw a land, but it looks like he has drawn a land. But maybe he oh, he's going to main phase it. I was going to say maybe he might respond to my end of turn opt with the Fatal Push. This is all going really, really, really well according to plan, so it's possible Liliana is just bad because of the Grizzlebrand thing. What do we want here? Like a Battle Rage? Fetch land. Fetch land is a 2-turn clock, so actually I'm going to top it. It might be too conservative to top it, but the fact that makes my Death Shadow a 9/9 and he's at 18 is just too good to pass up. And the land isn't terrible, because if I draw a 1-drop, which I did, I can actually use it. This is probably just game, unless he has some... He can maybe Grizzlebrand me next turn. I'm killing the Looter, so he can't put it in his graveyard, obviously. But he could, like, get lucky and Thought Scour, milling a Grizzlebrand, and then also drawing a Goryo's Vengeance. He might already have one, so hopefully that doesn't happen. I think we've done as good of a job as we can, preventing him from looting that Grizzlebrand into the graveyard. Though I am empty-handed, so like he could even, if he has like another Jace or a Snapcaster or something, Snapcaster would be extra bad because he can push the Shadow and also block and just prevent, just basically buy him an entire turn. A Detention Sphere, yeah, that sucks, but you know, I do have the ability to maybe kill him next turn if I can draw a threat here. Ooh, Stubborn Denial is excellent. So I'm probably not even going to activate the Tasker then, if he just passes back. I mean, he still doesn't have the Griselbrand in the graveyard, so I'm not too worried about much. I suppose I can activate at end of turn. I haven't seen anything out of his deck that can actually kill a Tasigur, so I'll scour myself. Yeah, I could counter that because I feel like he could get lucky and hit a Griselbrand, but I'd rather just hold the Stubborn Denial up. Not to mention the fact that I want to activate the Tasigur, I think. I do get punished if he has like a Dismember or a Path to Exile or something, but I've seen a lot of his deck and I haven't actually seen. Ooh, this is nice. I'm gonna get an Opt. He can't give me Stubborn now and he can't give me Bolt, which is a pretty glad that we went with that route. Now a Snapcaster Mage is gonna be lethal. So do I want to fetch first to Thin? I don't think so. I think it's just better to just Opt a Thoughtseize. So I can bottom that to go for the win, or I can top that to try to go after a Goryo's or something. I could die to a Snapcaster Mage, but I think I'm going to top it, Thoughtseize him. Could die to like an Obsidat, which I don't know if he plays or not, but I think this is probably right. Oh, he does have Obsidat, but he's far off of it. He can't ever cast his Thoughtseize. I guess I take the Fatal Push. I obviously don't want to take Obsidat. All these cards actually do not. I think he's actually drawing dead. Unless, oh, he can draw a Jace. He can draw something to block. So I think it's actually right to plus my Liliana, because that way if he draws a blocker, I can Edict him. Which sounds really weird because he gets to put the Obsidat in his graveyard, but I have the Stubborn Denial for it. So his hand is Thoughtseize, Griselbrand, Obsidat. So he's got to have 0 outs, right? I guess the one worry card is a Snapcaster because that has Flash, but I'll still have the Stubborn Denial up. So this feels really bad, but it's just right because he's going to put the Obsidat in the graveyard probably. Just doesn't matter because I have Stubborn Denial. Like, he's got the Thoughtseize, but he's at 1. Maybe I should have taken the Thoughtseize if he can, like, weirdly gain life, but can't imagine how that would happen. Well, he's just suiciding himself. I mean, obviously I had Stubborn Denial. There's no way I would plus the Liliana otherwise. Alright, so we're on the draw this game. I'm wondering if Collected Brutality is good, because he is kind of this, like, half combo, half control deck, but the Brutality kills Jace, which, like, it's really, really important for me to kill Jace, because it's his loot outlet and can kind of grind me out. How that game played out, I imagine that Battle Rage is pretty good. I don't know exactly, you know, like, he's a control-y deck, but sometimes he just draws the combo half of his deck and can't really interact with me that much. Adding this to my spreadsheet. Esper Goryos. Who won the die roll? We lost the die roll. Okay. So we lost a game on the draw, and we won a game on the play. Okay. Yeah, Brutality doesn't... It seems like if I draw Brutality instead of, like, a Battle Rage when I'm trying to, like, blitz my opponent down, doesn't seem great. Detention Sphere is like whatever. I just have to maybe be careful about overcommitting into a Detention Sphere. Dismember seems like awesome because he has Tasigur as well, and it does kill Obsidat if he ever chooses to Goryo's that, which is all obviously nice. I think I'm just gonna run this back. Like, maybe Battle Rage is better than Kolaghan's Command. I can't really make him discard that comfortably. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, he is a combo deck. Him having the Goryos and all the Thoughtseizes and stuff, I really want to just kill him dead. This is an interesting hand. I think it's probably a mulligan. I do have a turn 2 Shadow, but I just have 5 lands is so many. Oh, God. I think this is actually a keep. Because I get the Scry. But the problem is if I Street Wraith into more lands or just like more cycling spells, it's not great. Not feeling good about this game. Starting with 4 lands when you're just playing 18 lands. I mean, it's kind of unrealistic for me to have gotten a 5-land hand and a 4-land hand, but I do have a Tasker on top, which I can probably play on turn 2. 1, 2, 3. If I draw... Well, actually, no, I can't play it on turn 2, huh? Even though I have a lot of fetch lands. I can only get 2 of them into the graveyard. We do have a lot of self-damage, though. I mean, that's one of the good parts about this deck. Even though you have 4 lands, they're all kind of half spells for your Death Shadow. A Nihil Spellbomb, 2 Jaces. Okay, so he's got a really reactive hand. But he's got 2 cards that are both on top of his deck. I think we just take the Jace, though. Even though I kind of want to take the Spellbomb. I think he's just going to play Jace over the course of the next 2 turns. And he might not crack the Spellbomb until he has a black source. But since he topped, it's almost certainly one of those is a land. Okay, really... The Murderous Cut makes it a bit harder for me to fight through all this, but... How low do I want to go? Because he does have a Fatal Push. So, like, my first Death Shadow isn't actually that great. I think what I'm going to do is actually only pay 2 life. Since I pretty much have the ability to go as low as I want to anyway. A Goryo's could be pretty bad for me. And he's probably going to Spellbomb me here, which is going to really hurt, but we'll start to rebuild. Man, my hand is really bad. I kind of want to draw Liliana. Something that just is super impactful. Okay. He's got Push, Cut, and 2 unknown cards. Oh, that sucks. Got the Spellbomb out of the way, though. So we still can get this game, maybe. This has not been the most impressive first match for my Grixis deck. Though control decks are, like, hard. And in game 1, he just top decked Goryos when I thought I was a little bit favored. Control decks are hard because you don't have that many threats. So one of the toughest matchups is Jeskai, because they can pretty easily deal with all your threats, and then you're at a very low life total, so they can finish you off. Luckily, when this guy finishes me off, quote unquote, it's kind of with a Grizzlebrand or something. So my life total doesn't really matter, but then this Tassiger can kill me in 2 turns. So hopefully we can... I guess we still just want to rip Liliana. Or Thoughtscour is obviously good here. Snapcaster. What am I supposed to chump with this Snapcaster? Oh, I could have played my Tassiger. Oh my god. I wasn't even paying attention. Wow. It's weird. I played this game so many games off stream that I'm kind of losing it. Oh my god, that's so bad. I think I have to chump. Feels really weird. He might actually Fatal Push this. It gets more cards in my graveyard, and it buys me time to draw like Liliana or something. It's pretty bad because if I draw Thoughtscour or Inquisition, I can no longer use that. Man, I should have played that Tassiger. I don't know why I blanked on that. Sorry about that. Okay, well that hurts. But maybe I can draw Liliana. That's still pretty much my best draw here. So he discarded a push. So he's got cut plus another card. I just don't think I have enough outs to this Tasigur. I was really worried about Tasigur, but... Okay, that's pretty good. He can kill both my guys, but... I think what I do is I actually play the... Tasigur? No, because I want to be able to attack the Liliana potentially. Wow, the Death Shadow was an insane draw. Also, the Liliana, him discarding his Fatal Push is interesting. Well, it's possible he just has another one, though he didn't cast at end of turn, so that's good. It's possible I was supposed to sack the Death Shadow. But I feel like one of the ways I win this game is like through a Battle Rage or something. Because he could have another... Like, him discarding a push. I think he would have pushed end of turn if he had another one, though. Though I could be wrong about that. Wonder what would have happened if I played that Tasigur the turn I was supposed to. Like, I'd still have a Snapcaster Mage in my hand. Not that it really does much. He's going to Murderous Cut. Okay. Yeah, I guess we knew about that. I don't know what I was really thinking there. So, Liliana? Really need to draw Liliana. Okay. Thought Scour. So, I need to draw Liliana or I'm dead. That actually lets me survive because I can get around his Liliana. Which is kind of good, which is kind of nice. Oh, he does have Path. Okay. So I think I'm gonna... Well, I did lose to another Liliana, but I think I'm gonna just... I think the Tasker is a good card, so I'd rather opt... Because if I hit a brick... If I hit a brick, I want to discard that instead of Tasigur. Though I'm really looking for a Death Shadow, I suppose. Or a Liliana. If he's got a Liliana, another Liliana, doesn't really matter anyway. Ooh, Scrybug. Not bad. Loving that Scrybug. Though, I just want to make it clear, it's unclear to me whether I actually believe in the Scrybug or not. Kind of crazy that I could still win this game. Like, if I draw Liliana, even though I'm chumping every turn, basically. If I draw Liliana, I can kill this and then play Tasigur. Oh, he's got Lingering Souls. Well, that's probably game. Yep, that's game anyway. Alright, did not play... Just missing that Tasigur, man, that is really bad. And I suppose might have cost me the game, though he had removal for everything anyway. It was just the pacing. I might have ended up having an Angler in play, but that Lingering Souls would probably beat me. But GG's.